Hello guys, DJParson here, and we are back with another game of the World Championship, still stage 3. It has taken me a little bit to upload this last video because I was on holiday, but this will be the final of the 3-player games, and after that we can see the final standings of this group stage. So let's hop right in. And here we are up against Kristen and Wandering Wolf. We can take a quick look at the leaders and wonders. Library Colosseum, Sun Tzu, Nojishka, we have Gutenberg, Joan of Arc, there's Bach, there's a Cook and a Suez Canal. We also have Isabella and Eleanor and Barbarossa for colonies. Pierre's here, Marlene, Chaplin, Mandela, not that many. I guess we have Einstein, Marie Curie for computers. So a good mix of things. So Kristen has taken the library. Then Wandering Wolf takes the pyramids. I'm left with a choice. Maybe taking the Hanging Gardens. I will take Hippocrates. And I will take the Hanging Gardens. I could have maybe gone Homer, Cultural Heritage and Hanging Gardens. But with the Hanging Gardens you already have a lot of happy faces. So I chose Hippocrates here instead. H1 will start. Kristen gets the Engineering Genius, gets to take Homer, build a mine, and grab Frugality. Interesting. I probably would have increased Pop or go for Homer. The HA Frugality not worth all that much. Wandering Wolf goes for Confucius, collects him, builds a lab. That's gonna be it. And then I will go for properties, increase pop, build that mine, and I can take one more card, and that's going to be the urban growth, so I can go for that lab next turn. So pretty uneventful start, but it's only the first turn. We get our first development, trade routes. Kristen then starts, I can even finish the library. That's nice for her. Able to finish that. Goes for stockpile. Still not electing Homer. Homer does take an extra civil action when you replace him, so I still would have preferred to just increase pop. Also have that for the free religion or the free warrior. Wandering Wolf now goes for development of politics, so opens that one, gets engineering genius from H1, increase pop, builds a lab, so next turn he can finish that those pyramids. So not a bad setup for him. And then I will push. We get the development of warfare, so I will be able to take that one. Wandering Wolf can't, and Kristen also can't, so I'm the only one who gets that. That's nice. And then I will get the printing press, grab swordsman, and start building on those hanging gardens. Can also show my tactics, so I'm up to 3 strength. Also have the open borders agreement. I could offer that to someone still. Could have done that this turn, but I chose to push instead. Kristen now increases pop, builds a lab, grabs monarchy, grabs code of laws. Yeah, both of them are really good techs, and especially with the extra science from the library, it's good to have monarchy and code of laws. Still not having him elected Homer, but it's Homer. You don't need him early on if you don't plan on using those extra rocks. Wandering Wolf now opens development of civil life. He also grabs a code of laws, can go for that and finish the library, the pyramids here. So he will go up to 6 civil actions already. Gets a warfare, so that's a very nice setup. Getting 6 civil actions and the warfare in hand, so he soon will have 6 and 3 military actions. So that's a good setup. I will still not go for the open borders. I will push instead. We get the development of markets. Then I will finish the Hanging Gardens. I think I chose the development to develop the printing press, and then I also take Isabella. I want a new leader. I probably want Isabella this turn. I've already gotten 2 yellow cubes from Hippocrates, and 2 usually is enough for me. So I'd rather have the extra rocks and no corruption, thanks to Isabella. And then I can even build a library. So I have skipped my philosophy and go for the printing press immediately. And then of course I have a lot of population as well, thanks to the Hanging Gardens. Kristen now finally goes for Homer. Builds Aurora, goes for Saladin. Increases Pop with Frugality, increases... builds another lab, sure. 4 science production now is quite a lot, but with the Code of Laws in hand, there is a good target for all of that science, so I think I like that. And then he will, she will also go crazy with civil actions, Code of Laws and Saladin and the Monarchy. Wolf now opens Inhabit Territory, and I'm able to win this one for just Aurora, a card, and 1 rock from Isabella. Remember, there is Suez Canal and Cook, so we could get a colony game started with this. Wolf goes for Knights, can't develop them, goes for Joan of Arc as well. Will elect her, goes... now he has enough for the Knights because of Aristotle. No, because of Confucius giving 1 extra science here. Then I can finally go for that open borders agreement. Didn't have anything else in hand, so now I have an extra military action, and Kristen as well. Can grab a breakthrough here. Can develop the swordsman and build one of those. Increase pop. I now have a very healthy yellow bank. I have happy face and the extra food from the Hanging Gardens. And of course I won the inhabited territory. So that's very good. And then I can increase population twice. I have 4 rock production and 2 science production. So maybe can build an extra printing press next turn. But with the extra rock from Isabella, having 4 production is pretty nice already. Extra science here from the Confucius card. Kristen grabs Knights. Goes for Knights before Code of Laws. I can agree with that. She will get an extra civil action from Saladin anyway. Can now go for Knights with the extra from Homer. So I think I like that. Going for the Knights first. Will build a Knight even and grab the drama. And then probably takes the civil actions from Saladin. Wolf now is the weakest, doesn't push, sees the top card of course because of Joan of Arc. We'll go for Theology, giving him 5 strength now, so 2 extra because of Joan of Arc, and even grabs the Theocracy. Theocracy has some extra, there's some really good synergies with the Pyramids and the Code of Laws. Theocracy, I think I like that quite a bit, especially with the extra strength from Joan of Arc then. Only problem is you don't really want to go for a revolution now because you already have 6 civil actions, so a revolution is very expensive. But maybe there's some time. He has cultural heritage in hand, so we'll get up to 6 science, not next turn, but maybe after that. I will push here. We get immigration, and me and a wandering wolf have the most happy faces, so thank you very much, Hanging Gardens. And with all of my population, as I said before, I will decide to build an extra bronze. I don't really have the science right now for iron. I mean, I might still get the iron. Both of them are still in the deck, or one has shown up. But I decide I have the extra population. I want to put that population to use, so I build an extra bronze, going up to 5 rock production now. And then I grab an urban growth, frugality, and a patriotism. I'll also build an extra swordsman, so not being the weakest and being the strongest now. And then, being able to build a printing press probably next turn with the urban growth is really nice. With frugality, of course, I get new population sooner, and I don't even lose the yellow cube at the end of the age because of the Procrates effects. Kristen will push, get Reign of Terror, so Wandering Wolf will lose that. So the extra swordsman that I build is paying off here. And then Kristen uses stockpile, goes for the drama, increases pop, can build 1 drama, helps with the happy faces, grabs irrigation, maybe for next turn with the rich land, even can go for Code of Laws next turn or for irrigation. Both of them good ideas. Will even take the extra strength here from Saladin, wants to be the strongest as H2 starts, and we get another science from Confucius. Wandering Wolf then also wants irrigation, builds a warrior, can show the tactic. The Phalanx going up to 9 strength now, making him the strongest, and even takes St. Peter's Basilica, so even more synergies with Joan of Arc. So if next turn he decides to go for theocracy, I guess he doesn't have the rocks to go for St. Pete's, but what I really like is cultural heritage and breakthrough in hand. A lot of technologies, but these extra science from cultural heritage and breakthrough are very good. And then, yeah, taking the wonder here. He needs happy face at some point. Maybe it's not super easy to finish. He doesn't really have that many rocks, so maybe I'd rather like the iron more, but I'm not sure. Seems like wonder is also not a bad idea. I will also go for wonder. I go for the Great Wall. I already have swordsmen and 3 of them even. I can build an extra printing press now with the urban growth, and this way I also set up to have enough rocks to finish the Great Wall next turn, maybe even coupled with the architecture. And what is even better, ouch, after we lose to the Reds, but what I wanted to show, maybe you can even go for architecture and then finish the Great Wall, and we even get the defensive army here immediately, so we just need cannons, and then we have a really good tactic for our setup, and especially combined with the Great Wall, defensive army is very strong. So Kristen is taking the only iron, the other one was discarded if I remember correctly. Kristen will go for that, upgrade 1 and another one. Yeah, still delaying the Code of Laws, but I still think I agree with that. Being able to get the rock production up first and then maybe go for irrigation even next turn, or go for the Code of Laws. Both options seem fine. Wandering Wolf now is the strongest, sees the top card, opens it and it's Crusades, so we lose 4 culture and Wolf will gain that. As he goes for irrigation, can upgrade 1 and another one. So yeah, here you see the problem a little bit. The rocks for the St. Pete's will take a long time until that's there. Sadly, he also takes the architecture away from me. I would have really liked that in combination with my Great Wall. Push the event and we get developed territory. So I am able to win this for 4+, so just a swordsman and 3 rocks. So interesting that I decide to go for the rocks and not the card. But I think the reason is that I want to be able to defend myself if there's an aggression, so I pay 2 rocks to keep the 1 defend card. As I then go and upgrade Aurora to go up to 5 strength. So now with the defend card I'm able to defend even against Wandering Wolf. If I had sent that instead, that would have not been possible. So yeah, I also take the breakthrough because I still need more science. I have 12 in the bank, so I'm really hoping for an early Conmon, or maybe even Republic. Now I also draw an extra defend card, so could have saved some rocks, but better safe than sorry. Kristen opens vast territory. I tried to bid high for this, but apparently Kristen is able to win it with 7+, which is 2 units, so at least she has to pay a high price. I only went up to 5, so yeah, not sending too many rocks. There was the danger if I win that colony, and then I'm open to an aggression by Wandering Wolf, could even take away one of my colonies, so that's why I didn't want that. Kristen now upgrades irrigation. 2 of them, can even upgrade 1 more iron. But yeah, go for 1 knight, going up to 7 strength again. And grab Bach. Sure, Bach has some good synergies with the drama. Can even build one of these philosophies into drama with Bach. Doesn't go for that quite yet. Wants to keep the extra strength from Saladin. And here actually we see it. Wandering Wolf going for that aggression, the raid, and I can defend with my defend card. Of course, I could have also defended with the other one, but we didn't know we would draw that. Wolf now goes for coal. Can go for that this turn. Really nice. Can upgrade with a rich land, so fixing his rock production a little bit. Then even taking the scientific method. Yeah, the scientific method will take some time, but not even that long. I think next turn Wandering Wolf can just upgrade 1 more coal. Then with the cultural heritage he will have 6 science in the turn after that, and then he can go for the scientific method. So a very strong setup. Building iron and scientific methods in H2 is always going to give you a very strong economy. So that's what we're looking at from him. Here I'm able to finish the Great Wall. Could have maybe gone for Conmon. Maybe should have gone for Conmon instead. Not sure why I don't grab that immediately. Destroy a mine. And build Aurora to become the strongest. I'm missing out on that Conmon. Not so sure that is the correct move here. I didn't have a full hand or anything, did I? Maybe I did. Maybe I had a full hand. Yeah, with the Patriotism, sadly I had a full hand, so I couldn't grab and play the Conmon this turn. Yeah, that was poorly planned by me, getting no space in my hand to draw that. There are 2 Conmons in 3-player games, so it's not that unlikely that we still get the Conmon later on. So we'll have to hope for that. Kristen now goes for Bach. Goes for the Code of Laws. Growth, Frugality. Yeah, load up on some of these yellow cards. Patriotism, maybe upgrade the last one of those mines. Yeah, is now the weakest, but has a very good culture production. As the Conmon is coming down. Maybe I get it next turn for 1 civil action, then it's even worth it. But first we get the wealthy territory, which I'm able to win for 1 swordsman, which makes this debatable if that was worth it. 2 cards are definitely worth a little bit, and the extra rock and the knight or the swordsman already cost 3 rocks and food. So I'm not sure that if this is not overpaying. Maybe should have bid a little bit less. The Wandering Wolf now goes for the plan that we said he would, but he will go for the Conmon. Maybe even planning to do a revolution with Conmon next turn. So sadly I won't be able to go for that now. So I will push and we get new deposits. So only 4 rocks for me, 6 and 7. So I pushed that one, but it came out a little bit later than I would have hoped. Because both of my opponents have upgraded their production. There's another Conmon. Yeah, and I'm able to get it this time around. And also a justice system that can help me with corruption. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing not to underestimate. The extra blue cubes from the wealthy, especially because we are on bronze, is pretty nice. And then I will be able to build a swordsman and become the strongest and get out of corruption. Kristen now increases population, builds a swordsman to up to 10 strength as well, pops again, builds one of those dramas, and grabs the Louvre. Sure, she has a lot of rocks and no good way at the moment to spend them, really. I mean, alternatively, maybe Scientific Method could have been good for next turn. The problem with the Louvre is, yes, it's a wonder, that's a good way to spend rocks, but the problem is Kristen already has such high culture production. So I think a different wonder would have been better, maybe the Kremlin, or maybe the Scientific Method, but we will see how that works out with the Louvre. I mean, more culture production doesn't hurt you necessarily, it's maybe just too much in culture already. Wandering Wolf will go for that Scientific Method, upgrades both of his, can even play reserves, and we still see this St. Pete's just sitting there, so maybe next time that will get finished. And then he even goes for an extra irrigation. Has gone for Catherine, but is the weakest at the moment. Now I will push once again. We get Rebellion, but no one has discontent workers. And then I can go for Gaudi. Get rid of Isabella for now. Grab selective breeding. Yeah, I still need more population. Can upgrade 1 and increase pop. And grab Scientific Method. So next turn I can go for that Scientific Method with the discount from Gaudi. It's not the best Gaudi here, 2 culture production and maybe saving a little bit of science for the Scientific Method. Maybe going for some more different urban buildings at some point. Okay, so historic territory, I didn't want to have that one, but Kristen is able to win it for just Aurora. There are also the cannons finally showing up. Kristen will take one of those, also build a couple of stages on that. Okay, destroys. And that's not what you really want. Destroying philosophy to build into Aurora, you just spent for that historic territory, but he doesn't want to be too weak. She doesn't want to be too weak. Also not able to finish the Louvre here. Grabs architecture. Alright. Wolf goes for architecture and can just finish the St. Pete's in one civil action. Does exactly that, so solves all of the happy face issues he could have. Builds another warrior for some reason. Okay, interesting. Going for next warrior and grabs away the cannon. So I would have really liked to have the cannon because I have the according tactic, but I won't get the chance to grab it because my opponents did so before me. Inhabited territory. This one won by Wolf for just a warrior. That's good. That's good. Warrior and 3 cards. Here you can maybe see if I hadn't spent 2 of my defend cards or colonization cards on the wealthy, maybe I would have been able to get the inhabited one. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. So I didn't get the cannon, so I will take the cavalryman instead. I have a tactic for those as well, but of course it's not quite as good as the cannons would have been, especially with that Great Wall. I will be able to go for scientific method this turn, so going up to 5 science production. I also grabbed an efficient upgrade, probably for the selected breeding next turn and more science from the revolutionary idea. As we go into H3, I of course lose the open borders agreement between me and Kristen, and then some cards get discarded, but I get yet back a yellow card. Kristen now goes and finishes the Louvre, 14 culture production, goes for strategy, grabs a breakthrough, decreases pop, could maybe build a knight to get out of corruption. Yeah, Kristen has a big problem with corruption now. Has -1 blue cube from the vast territory and 3 blue cubes on the Louvre. As you can see, she has 1 blue cube on the deck and still only has 1 to cover up the corruption, so it's going to be very hard for Kristen to get out of corruption constantly. That's usually how it goes when you have the Louvre and no extra sources of blue cubes. Wandering Wolf builds a knight, grabs engineering genius. There's also an air force that will be taken as well. Increased population and modern infantry, so loading up on a lot of those military techs. Building 2 more swordsmen, or warriors even, to go up to 14 strength. Using all of the military actions, so no cards for him. I will open the economic progress, so for me that's 3 extra rocks and 3 food. So that is alright. 11 rocks in the bank will increase population twice. Could go maybe for movies. I mean, they're pretty expensive. I will build another swordsman to become the strongest. I did put in the refugees, so some strength events here in the deck. I will then build his philosophy and upgrade it with the efficient upgrade. So I value the science higher here than upgrading the selected breeding. I mean, still have pretty okay food. My yellow bank is also still looking okay. So I'd rather have the extra science boost at the moment. And then I grab reserves for that extra little bit of rock production, because that's one of my weakest points, having just 3 rocks to produce each turn. Kristen opens immigration, but still no discontent workers. Everybody's pretty happy. Kristen goes for architecture, revolutionary idea, computers. But yeah, we see some corruption, can increase pop to get rid of some of that, but won't be able to get rid of the second corruption. And goes up to 17 strength. Maybe could have been worth it to build that extra knight to be the strongest. We will see if Wandering Wolf will push. But he doesn't. Goes for Cornmon. Increases 1 more of his mines. And builds another scientific method and will go for Einstein. That's a great leader for him. 11 science production now. A lot of civil actions, grabs military buildup and movies. It's also Marlene Dietrich. I'm the strongest. Let's see if we can get the refugees. No, iconoclasm instead. Bach will be gone, Gaudi will be gone. And I sadly can't really use Marlene. What I could go for is, yeah, fundamentalism. Okay, patriotism. So maybe trying to go for military route here. Because I have a war in hand, I have a tactic I have not utilized. There's some rockets. I will grab them as well. So with the patriotisms and reserves, yeah, I can build 2 rockets next turn, so I could theoretically go for war, even getting the hybrid war here. Kristen will push, and there are the refugees, so I get extra population, and one will lose it, and some culture changes hands as well. Kristen then goes for computers, upgrade 1, go for Marlene, so that's a really good transition for her. She just lost Bach and can replace immediately with Marlene. Build an extra knight, so just 1 more needed, and she will fulfill the outdated tactic again. So that's actually not too bad. Getting 2 shock troops outdated is still 12 strength from tactics, which is not ideal for this many units, but it's also not super bad. Wandering Wolf uses wave nationalism, will go for modern infantry, also grabs space fleet. This could become a very big space fleet with 11 science production. Could be very good. And then we probably will see some upgrades here, or even building 1 modern infantry and upgrading the other, going up to 22 strength, 26 strength, and upgrading the last one 30 strength. He's not drawing a lot of H3 cards. This is the second time that he's used all of his military actions, but becoming pretty strong here. Popularization of science is next. We all have pretty high science production. Wandering Wolf has the highest, but not such a big difference. Rockets now coming out. Patriotism. I will build 1 rocket. Go for Mandela. He does cost quite a bit, but I get 2 culture production from him and an extra civil action, of course. And then I will even go for that fundamentalism to go up to 36 strength. So the idea is basically to, threaten war. I mean, no big plan behind that. Just try to use my military, because it's going to be very hard for me to try to keep up in culture production. Kristen already on 12. Wandering Wolf will get a lot from Einstein. And for me, it's really hard to use any of these leaders effectively. So I went for Mandela, but don't really have. I guess I could have maybe grabbed Pro Sports, try to do that thing. But I decided I'd rather try some military pressure. Kristen opens Politics of Strength, so I will be drawing some more extra cards, quite a lot of them. So some impacts, a new tactic, but can't really use that one. I just need to try and build 2 more rockets. Sadly, I can't do that next turn. I have all the wars I could ask for, though. Kristen goes for satellites. 22 strength now. Tanks. Increase population, build 1 more knight, so 30 strength for her as well. Upgrade computers. It's looking pretty good for Kristen, I would say. 12 culture production, very good strength. I mean, not the greatest military setup, but even also not that bad. If the last Air Force comes into her hand, it's Air Force with outer shock troops aren't even all that bad. And then there's still the option to go for tanks and the modern infantry to even get the non-outdated tactic. Wandering Wolf opens arms industry, so 4 rooks for Wandering Wolf, 2 for me and Kristen. And then Wandering Wolf will go for tanks. Can develop them. Grab Endowment. Grab Urban Growth. Use Pop and maybe build 1 tank. What is his plan? Yeah, build 1 tank, get some out of corruption, can finally draw some more H3 cards. And now for me, I think it's, sadly not that easy to go for war. These rockets are really, really expensive. If I could build 2, maybe there would be a war option now. But I don't have enough for that. I offer the international tourism to Wandering Wolf, but he says no. Maybe that's justified. I mean, I would have gotten 2 culture production this turn already. Think overall this game is relatively close. Kristen seems like she has the edge, so it makes sense that Wandering Wolf doesn't accept the pact with me. Don't know if I could have offered it to Kristen. Seems like I have drawn a lot of H3 cards, but not the best impacts for me at least. Of colonies would have been nice, and I'm sure there's some other ones as well. I will build rockets here. I will grab air forces, modern infantry to take it away, take military theory, and then use the reserves already. I could have also grabbed reserves, but they don't actually give me any more strength, I think. I have exactly 8 rocks next turn, so 1 rocket, and I can go for military theory. So that will give me quite a sizable amount of strength. So I am setting up a war here. Let's see how the others will respond to that. Kristen will go for tanks. Will go for rocket. Go for cannons as well. Can destroy Aurora. So she has a new tactic. That has to be mechanized army then. Yep, it is. Can also upgrade 1 tank, so 36 strength. So not the biggest strength increase this turn, because she had to switch tactics. But 2 cannons next turn is another tactic of the mechanized army. I think maybe it also... Yeah, I guess maybe it's too hard to stay just on shock troops. With the shock troops and upgrading everything to tanks could have been alternative, but I also can't really disagree with going for a new, very efficient tactic. Problem is going to be, she has too many knights, so 2 tanks is enough, so a lot of the units will not go into tactics at all. Something that would have not been the case with the shock troops, but of course the mechanized army is a lot more efficient, so probably overall the right move. Reserves for her as well. And 127 culture. Wandering Wolf, almost developed territory. Kristen will take this. There's a great opportunity to just use the extra units to get rid of them. Wandering Wolf then upgrades a tank, upgrades another tank, so he can probably copy the shock troops actually, even though, yeah, maybe. If he gets patriotism, some reserves, he could have enough for 3 tanks, but apparently he wants movies, so okay. And starts building on that space flight. Perhaps 1 reserves. And does copy the tactic. So once again, no card draws for him, but 46 strength. But actually not enough to fulfill another tactic. So this could be a war from me, I think. Let's see if I decide to go for that. I do, but against Kristen, and not against Wandering Wolf, so it's going to be war over culture. Go for the military theory. Destroy a farm, build a rocket. 65 strength. Revolutionary idea. Reserves. Yeah, maybe should have gone against Wandering Wolf. He would have enough to build 2 tanks. That's only 10 strength, so 56. And it still seems... Yeah, I guess maybe it's still possible to beat Kristen. Maybe my idea was if I go for the war against Kristen, I can steal culture from her. It also gives me a lot of culture, so if I win this war, I will probably beat Wandering Wolf, because I guess he still has that space flight. So nothing is certain in this game, so I'm just wondering if maybe Wandering Wolf would have been the better target, because Kristen can go for 2 cannons, so that's going to be 16 strength added. So yeah, they're going to have around the same strength potential. So let's see how Kristen will respond here. H4 will start. Yeah, I probably should have gone against Wandering Wolf. If I had gone for a war against him, he couldn't have finished the space flight. So now he gets to finish the space flight. With that, he might actually win against me. And then it's also uncertain if I can take enough culture away from Kristen. So if I think if I would go against Wolf, I would have secure 2nd place. But probably not enough to beat Kristen. But now that I go against Kristen, it's uncertain. I could get 1st place, but I could also come in last or 2nd. So very, very open. Very uncertain at this point. Historic territory. Also, Wandering Wolf is going to take this. For 2 of those modern infantry, that's very expensive, but of course he's not involved in the war. So this is not a good turnout for me. Kristen now destroys mine, builds a cannon. Upgrades 57 strength. Right, he gets to fulfill the tactic with Marlena and then upgrade the tanks. 57. It's not going to steal all too much then. multimedia to develop those. I mean, some impacts could be really, really bad for me. So let's see. 139 from Kristen here. Wandering Wolf will push as well. Gets the Imp of Architecture. 8, 10, and 6. Then we get some more rocks from Wandering Wolf. Develops 1 technology. Finishes the space flight for 24. Not even all that much. And that's probably gonna be it. Take some cards just for fun. And then we get to resolve the war. We're still 13, putting me at 103. I also get to play an armed intervention on Wandering Wolf, stealing another 7 from him. Making it, yeah, not all that close even. Yeah, as I said, Wandering Wolf would have been the better target for that war. I guess I did get screwed a little bit by the historic territory, but I should have seen that with this war still would be super hard to beat Kristen. I mean, this is still not over. I mean, I don't know the impacts, of course. We will see. But I think it would have been wiser to go against Wolf to secure second place and then maybe even have a chance at coming in first. But maybe that was not possible anyway. So let's, before we analyze too much before the final results, let's take a look at those results. Imp of Strength is really good for me. So I actually overtake Wandering Wolf. We get Imp of Population 10, 14, and 12. It's looking good. I even have a chance to come in first after all. Colonies 9, 9, and 6. I mean, it wasn't the wrong move. Getting close to Kristen here. Happiness 12, 10, and 16. Making it very close once again between me and Wandering Wolf. The last is Agriculture 2, 3, and 10. Oh, crazy. 174, 174, and 169. So sadly, I will come in last after all. And these two guys share their victory. Congrats to Kristen and Wandering Wolf. That Imp of Agriculture screwing me in the end. And yeah, if I had gone against Wandering Wolf, Kristen would have won and I would have come in second. So I wouldn't really say it was a mistake to go for Kristen. After all, the results were really close. So it wasn't really a miscalculation. Maybe still could have said, don't try to come in first, just secure second place. Maybe that would have been the better, objectively better call to make. But also I can't fault myself for going for that war against Kristen to try to come in first, because it did get pretty close. I guess maybe I didn't calculate it correctly that Kristen could just go for 1 cannon and upgrade 2 tanks. Even though the difference wasn't even that. I guess it's relatively big. Not even that. All that much. But anyway, congrats to Kristen and Wandering Wolf. Well played by both of them. And this is going to be the last of 3-player matches. I thought about showing you guys the 2-player matches as well, because some of them were pretty exciting, but I'm just running out of time to do that with my 3 weeks of holiday in between matches here. So let's take a final look, or look at the final standings of our group stage. In group 44 here, we can see some of the results. What results did we see? Maybe I should start from the bottom. Let's try to make this exciting. So you saw this game, the first 3-player game that I was able to win. That was nice. I won my 2-player games. This 3-player game, I came in second. I won another 2-player game. This 4-player game was pretty not so successful. I came in third. Then we had a 3-player game where I wasn't involved. Another 4-player game where I came in last. So my 4-player games were really bad. 3rd and 4th place. Not a lot of points. But thankfully my 2-player game is still very strong. I was able to win this 2-player game as well. And yeah, you can see this one. This one was very exciting against Kristen. She did a great job almost taking it. So this 2 points. I really would have liked to show you guys this game. If you want to, you can watch it yourself. Maybe this would be the code, Nutsikosa. You can check it out yourself if you want to. And this one, Pite resigned. So yeah, this one would have been exciting to see. So my 2-player game very strong. 3-player games here, lost 1 So if you take a look at the standings, I am able to advance, not in first place, but in second. So I will actually go to the lower bracket in the next stage. So it would have been really, really good to come in first. Yeah, most important part is coming to the next stage, being able to show you guys some more games in the next round. And yeah, my results overall, as I said, 4-player games very bad, 3-player games very mixed, 1-1-1, can't complain about that too much. And then 2-player games winning all of those. So those really saved me in this group stage, in this group, being able to win all of the 2-player games. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this group stage. It was very exciting. Congratulations to Pete for taking the win in this one. Really strong in the 4-player games and also not bad in the 2-player, winning all of the other ones besides the one against me. And actually we can also take a look at the next group stage, stage 4, where we now have an upper bracket and a lower bracket. I sadly only got to the lower bracket. That means, if we take a look here, so in the upper bracket, the winner moves to the upper bracket of the next stage, and the loser, or the second place, not the loser, the second place in the group goes to the lower bracket of the next stage. So in the upper bracket, 2 players advance to the next stage. In the lower bracket, only the winner. So in the next group stage, I will have to come in first, or I won't be able to advance. And we can take a look at our group. Games have started already, but we haven't finished any yet. I'm up against Jezza, Artplay, and Wozniak. So get excited for those. Shouldn't take too long. The first game should get completed relatively soon. So stay posted for the next group stage. If you haven't, definitely subscribe to don't miss any of the matches. Hope you guys enjoyed this game. Hope you guys enjoyed the group stage or the third stage of the groups. And we'll enjoy the next one as well. So see you guys for the next video.